I never knew my husband was gay until I caught him in the house with another guy. It was a usual Friday evening, and I had just come home from work earlier than usual. As I walked into the house, I heard strange noises coming from our bedroom. Curious, I slowly made my way towards the room, trying to figure out what was going on. As I reached the door, I could hear hushed whispers and giggles. Fear and confusion coursed through me as I slowly pushed the door open, revealing a sight that would forever change my life. There, on our bed, were my husband, Mark, and another man, locked in a passionate embrace. My heart sank as I realized what was happening. My mind was flooded with questions. How did I not see this coming? How long had this been going on? Was our entire marriage a lie? I stood there frozen, unable to move or speak as the two men broke apart, their eyes widening in shock as they saw me standing there. Mark's face turned pale as he stuttered out an apology, trying to explain himself. But his words fell on deaf ears as I turned and ran out of the house, tears streaming down my face. I spent the rest of the night wandering the streets, trying to make sense of what had just happened. How could I have been so blind? How could Mark have hidden such a huge part of himself from me for so long? As the sun began to rise, I found myself drawn back to the house, needing answers. When I walked through the door, Mark was sitting in the living room, his head in his hands. I sat down across from him, my voice shaky as I demanded to know the truth. Mark looked up at me, tears in his eyes as he told me the truth. He had known he was gay since he was a teenager, but he had been too scared to come out. He had thought that marrying me would make those feelings go away, but they only grew stronger with time. I felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and sadness wash over me as I listened to his story. I couldn't believe that he had kept such a big secret from me for so long, but as I looked into his eyes, I could see the pain and fear that had been haunting him for years. We sat in silence for what felt like hours, both of us lost in our own thoughts and emotions. Eventually, I found the strength to speak, telling Mark that I needed time to process everything and decide what to do next. He nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Over the next few days, I found myself going through a roller coaster of emotions. I was angry at Mark for lying to me, but I also felt a deep sense of empathy for the inner turmoil he had been facing all these years. After much soul-searching, I finally made a decision. I couldn't continue to be married to someone who didn't truly love me in the way I deserved. I knew that Mark needed to find his own path to happiness, even if it meant going separate ways. When I told Mark my decision, he understood and accepted it with grace. We agreed to part ways amicably, both of us knowing that it was the best thing for both of us. As I packed my things and prepared to leave the house we had shared for so many years, I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief. While the pain of betrayal still lingered, I knew that I had made the right choice for myself. And as I walked out the door, leaving behind the life I had known for so long, I felt a glimmer of hope for the future. I may not have known my husband was gay, but I had found the strength to move on and create a new life for myself.